Stateside, we go for the next story here on RT International, where activist Jose Vega confronted U.S. political hawk Matthew Pottinger, known for his anti-China stance. But it all happened on stage during an event at the Asia Society of New York. And Mr. Vega was essentially dragged away and ended up being choked by security.
And like you are trying to tell me China is the actual responsible one for World War III? I'm supposed to believe China is surveilling our kids? We have a mass surveillance state here. It's called fascism, okay? The NSA spies on everything we do. This incoherent up on the stage is no different than the incoherent babbler named Biden, who probably isn't running our government. We don't need to have World War III. We can actually work with China. Did you know that? We can work with China. Every time they come, they offer a peaceful solution. Listen, don't start World War III. Please.
We had a chance to speak with that man, Mr. Jose Vega, and he had a lot of things to say. He basically summed it up with saying that the collective West pushes a confrontational policy on the world stage. Have a listen for yourself.
Matt Pottinger, who is a State Department spook, as I like to say, and is now also advising people on the subcommittee for strategic competition between the United States and the Chinese Communist Party, was hosting a book talk because he just released a book called The Boiling Moat. And the entire talk was just filled with hawkish points about why we should continue to be antagonistic towards the Chinese and the Russians. The room wasn't so big, and I was able to get my message across, and I did expect tension. I did expect confrontation. I knew they weren't going to be happy with me, but I certainly didn't expect the moderator himself get off stage and come towards me. The West, as we like to call it, doesn't want peace in the world. We know that Boris Johnson has sabotaged the peace talks that happened in April of 2022 that could have stopped the war in Ukraine. We know that NATO has no intention of stopping any of the three-front world wars, whether it's Israel, whether it's Taiwan, or whether it's Ukraine. They want these wars to continue. And anybody who presents any kind of alternative or a threat to that and starts talking about peace is going to be silent, or in my case, choked out of the room. They want to criticize, China or Russia for being authoritarian, but I live in the United States, which, has free speech, supposedly, and that's how we get treated for using our First Amendment rights. But I believe in the American people. That's why I'm running for Congress. I believe that the American people, if they are presented with the right, not just information, but the right truth, that we can work with the Chinese and the Russians, and that we can actually cooperate and not have this antagonistic role, I genuinely believe we can make something happen where people decide, let's stop war and let's work together. People need to actually stand up and wake up and say, wait a minute, my country isn't even being run by the person I thought was running it. So in order for there to be a change, we should figure out who's actually running our country and our government first, and then dictate from there what the people want their foreign policy to be, which should be cooperation and peace for all.